Bungie, Bungie, Bungie. Oh wait, it's NetEase. Oh, okay. We finally got the announcement for Destiny Rising, the long-awaited mobile game that we knew was coming, but we weren't quite ready for it still after all these years. Now, this is a result of a deal that was made about 5 years ago between Bungie and NetEase, and there was a lot of speculation as to exactly what was going to happen with this because NetEase is well known for a lot of their mobile stuff, but they've also been moving into doing more standard gaming things lately. With this, we knew that NetEase was going to be probably asking for a Destiny mobile game, and we found out it's going to be called Destiny Rising. One of the things that's very cool about this is that Bungie has been involved, and I assume that's to make the gameplay have that Bungie sauce that really is what makes Destiny worth playing for a lot of people, myself included. As much as I love looter shooters, things like that, I played The Division, I played The First Descendant, I played Suicide Squad, I played every looter shooter, Borderlands, right, under the sun. The thing about Destiny is there's nothing that plays quite like it, and seeing some of this early footage from these trailers for Destiny Rising, I'm seeing something that looks very promising in terms of the gameplay, because I see the shots, the guns reacting like they would on console or PC. Now, we want to break down exactly how this is going to be working, because if you are one of the fans of Destiny who has subscribed to this channel because we've done a lot of Destiny coverage in the past, or if you're someone who's just looking for more information on this, we want to make sure you know exactly what's going on, because there has been some misinformation and misunderstandings going on in the Destiny community about exactly what's going on. One of the biggest things to understand for Destiny players, new and old, is that this is going to be set in an alternate Destiny universe. This was mentioned in the developer deep dive preview that they released alongside the trailer for Destiny Rising. This is going to be set in an era after the Collapse. The Collapse is an event in Destiny history where humankind is attacked from some sort of entity or thing from outer space, which we later find out is like the Witness's forces. In the main timeline, they are pushed back by Savathun, it's revealed later on. These are all spoilers if you haven't kept up on the 10 years of Destiny storytelling that came to an end recently. But long story short, this is the period after the big attack where humanity is just starting to recover. And this is set in an alternate era of history where they're delving into things that we've never really seen before, but it's their way of making sure that it's not canon. And I have to assume this is because Bungie didn't want to have to keep up with all of the storytelling that NetEase is going to do on their end. They're going to be introducing a lot of characters, and all of those characters are going to tie into the main story and then have their own separate stories for players to work through, which is kind of cool sounding. I like that a lot. Now, one of the other things about this is that there are going to be lots of different weapon types for players to collect. And they're even introducing a new type. So in Destiny, we do have what's called the exotic weapons. So like a lot of other games might call those legendaries. They're the highest tier in the mainline Destiny games. They have special abilities. Some let you move faster. Some do really special stuff like weaken enemies, weaken bosses. Some catch enemies on fire, things like that. They all just have different special effects that are unique to those exotic weapons. Well, NetEase has mentioned they are introducing not only new weapon archetypes, they look like they're going to be introducing like a crossbow. There's a big kind of minigun cannon launcher thing that one of the characters is lugging around in one of the trailers. But they also said they're going to be introducing a new weapon rarity of mythic weapons. Now, we don't have too many details, but they did say they're going to be very strong and they're going to be a big essential thing for you getting probably through the end content, like end game in this mobile game, if there is one that's similar to Destiny, which it sounds like there will be. Now, let's talk about some of the misinformation that's been coming out. This is not a project that has been worked on by Bungie. I have seen a lot of people who are prominent in the Destiny community, especially on Twitter, already saying, oh, well, Bungie could do this and work on this for the last 5 years, and they didn't make things for Destiny 2. Destiny 2 has been languishing and suffering because they've been working on this mobile game. That is not true. This game is developed by NetEase, and that's what that whole developer deep dive preview thing is about. It is NetEase Studios getting the license from Bungie, which is what they paid Bungie $100 million for. It's so that they could use Destiny as an IP and the ideas of Destiny and then use them to create their own game, which they very clearly state right in the opening moments of this developer deep dive. So one of the things we want to clear up is just making sure that people understand that Bungie did not really have too much to do with this other than guiding them in what I assume is probably like aesthetic design, and most importantly, that gameplay design, which is so crucial to Destiny as a franchise. So now that we've talked about that, let's really talk about the elephant in the room here. This is NetEase, and this is a mobile game that is free to play, which means there's going to be monetization, and that is something that is genuinely concerning, because monetization could be done very fairly, very fun, and in a way that like helps the game stay alive and is entirely optional. Or what is more likely, unfortunately, is that it will be implemented in some sort of gacha style where you have to collect character cards by spending money, or maybe you can earn a very small amount of in-game credit to get pulls or something like that. My question is, will they be making us pull for characters? Will they be making us pull for weapons? Will those mythic weapons be something you have to buy and pull for, or can you earn them just by playing the game? Is it going to be loot driven the way Destiny is? Like, are you going to get weapon drops every single time you complete a mission, or just randomly off of, you know, enemies that you defeat, things like that? Or are all your weapon drops going to come from pulls that you have to earn by doing X amount of missions or spending real world money? Real world money being involved with that obviously makes it a pay to win. And if there's any sort of PvP, that immediately is going to be something where no player who's not spending money is going to have any chance against those people who do spend a ton of money on the game. Some of the details that have come out have been that there will be things like strikes in the game, which if you are a Destiny player, you'll know what that is. If you're not, a strike is kind of like a 3-person mission that you go on together with other players. You can matchmake in with other players, and they're just kind of short little 15 to 20 minute missions that get you some rewards at the end. This one is reportedly going to have 6-player co-op strikes, which would be very cool. It's almost like a raid, and it just depends on how they're going to do it, because mobile games tend to be much shorter in terms of their kind of rounds. If you think about something like Marvel Snap, where you're playing, you know, rounds that are like 3 minutes at the most, that tends to be a good sweet spot for a mobile game. So we'll have to see how they play out and how they do this. I could see maybe 5 to 7 minutes for a strike for people on mobile, unless they're a Destiny fan. But I believe the thing is that NetEase said they wanted new players to do this, and NetEase is obviously very keyed into that mobile market and the attitudes and mindset of mobile players who want a short, enjoyable experience, maybe play a couple rounds in the span of time where you play one round or one strike in normal Destiny. There will also be a closed alpha in November. I personally have signed up for this. I'm very interested in this game, at least checking it out, seeing what they're going to be doing with it personally. I hope that it turns out well. It really does look like it's going to play like Destiny from what I've seen. There's a little bit more third person than Destiny normally has, but there are also new powers, new guns, and I love the Destiny universe. As someone who, you know, I don't play it as much as I used to, but every time there's a new season, I'll play it for a couple of weeks, check it out, and then kind of try and finish off the season pass at least before I check out again. And having an entirely new Destiny experience that I could take on mobile, play at work, or things like that, I think could be a good time, especially if the monetization isn't too egregious. But personally, I think NetEase is going to go as hard as they can. It's my belief they're probably going to be gacha pulls, by the way they talked about characters and weapons, and then there's also likely to be skins and things that you can buy for your characters once you get them, because that's already part of Destiny, and Destiny players are already conditioned to pay for those things as it is. If it does come out that you can mostly play and earn things just by playing the game, there's not too much pay to win, or there's not pay to win, and you can really just get in. And if you want to really support the game, you want to see it go long term, you can buy the skins and things. I would be more than happy to play this game long term. But I want to know what you think about Destiny Rising with all the info that we did get from this. This is, again, coming from NetEase. It is the licensed game from the Destiny IP by Bungie, set in an alternate timeline post-Dark Age, where we are recovering from the collapse, and we're seeing kind of the starting point of Guardians as we know them. Let us know down in the comments, if you're a Destiny player, are you going to be checking out Destiny Rising? If so, have you signed up for that alpha test? Anyway, I'm LittleBobby here with Direct Gaming, and Thank you so much if you've been watching, and feel free to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content from us here at Direct Gaming. Right now we do guides, news, and live stream discussions, so if you are someone who's interested in talking directly with us, feel free. On the weekends we have our live stream discussions. You can join Talon and or Lemon and myself for those, depending on who's available. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon.